Bandujamia, Bandunamia, Bandujamia, Bandunamia, Bandujamia, Bandunamia.
So let's start with the first question: how to best prepare for a conscious conception?
So I really love the word conscious because it signifies that there is an intention behind the purpose, behind having a child. So it's like a planned parenthood. So even you're asking yourself this question, am I ready to have a child? How do you know? For me, it was this inner knowing. It was and being able to tap into my intuition, and also feeling really committed to be able then to, first of all, bring a child into the world, but also to support and love this child. There's some other questions too that you can ask yourself when it comes to conscious conception. So are you in a supportive and loving relationship? So it's really important that you feel really well anchored in your relationship. And oftentimes couples can make the mistake in thinking that having a child is just going to magically fix all of the issues in their relationship. However, when you have a child, it really does change the dynamic of your relationship. So it can rock the boat even further. So it's important that the couple feels really effective and that they're working together as a team, so that, when this next person is introduced into the dynamic, everything feels more solid. Also, in terms of your finances, so do you feel financially secure in being able to raise your child? So for example, if both parents are working and now the mother needs to take leave, are you in a situation where you'll be able then to continue to pay your bills, your mortgage, whatever it is, while the mom is able to take that time off with the child? Another aspect also that you can look at is your environment. So is your home large enough to support your child? Do you have an extra spare room if needed, so that at night, because trust me, sleep is going to be a luxury. So are you able then to have another space in your home where, someone can sleep with the child if needed, and then the other person can get some well-deserved rest and sleep? Do you have family and friends around to help you? It's great to have a supportive network that you can rely on, because truly it does take a village to raise a child. So basically, the things that I'm talking about, these are all like first chakra survival issues. So the first chakra is all about your security. And so it's important for a woman to feel secure, especially before planning to have a child. And then from that point of balance in the first chakra, then you can start to move on into the second chakra, which is all about creativity, about procreation. Some other steps too, when it comes to conscious communication, revolve around body, mind, and spirit. So just like how Kundalini Yoga and Sikh Dharma focuses on these three aspects, to prepare for your pregnancy, what can you do to support yourself physically? What can you do to support yourself mentally and spiritually? So when we look at physically, what you can do to prepare is to start looking then at your diet. It could be a good time, at least 6 to 9 months before planning to get pregnant, to start to cleanse the body. So you can go on a cleansing diet. In Ayurveda, there's looking at the doshas. So if you look at the kapha dosha, we want to kind of get rid of the congestion that can build up in the body. So if you can have a kapha balancing diet, that's a great way also to remove toxins from the body, what we refer to as ama. And so you're preparing the body beforehand, and so it can help with fertility. It can also help reduce things like morning sickness, which also is a way of purging and cleaning the body. So once you've gone through that cleanse, you want to favor a more sattvic diet and really take care of your vata dosha. So a sattvic diet would be eating foods that are going to be easy to digest, cooked whole nourishing foods, foods that you're able to eliminate within 24 hours. And so you don't want to accumulate even more ama or toxins within the body. And then we want to take care of our vata dosha. So vata is all about the air element, ether element. So you want to feel grounded. Take care of your nervous system, and especially, life is moving at such a fast pace. There's so much information we're bombarded with. So when it comes time to conception, it's really important that you try to address stress. So stress also can affect fertility. And especially when we're looking at being over fatigued, the adrenals are overtaxed. So what can you do then to strengthen your nervous system? Maybe focus on kriyas, meditations that help to detoxify your body, work on your nervous system, your endocrine system, so your adrenals, and balance the tattvas, and also look at stress reduction. So the more you strengthen your nervous system, you'll be able then to better deal with the stresses that come day to day, but also the added pressures of raising a child. So oftentimes a lot of women, when they come to my prenatal classes, they're so focused, they're so fixated on just labor. Like labor is that huge kind of obstacle to overcome. But what they don't really realize is that there's so much after that initial jump, that hurdle. It can feel like a marathon right after you gave birth, and you don't get to stop. There's so much more that comes after that. So it's really important that you build your capacity now to become stronger, to deal with the pressures that come ahead with motherhood. So exercise is really important. And so there's things that you can do too with your partner, like charan japa, which is walking in rhythm with your partner using the mantra Satnam. And there's also Venus kriyas that you can do with your partner. And this is great because it does improve the bond, the connection between you. And there's one really beautiful Venus kriya I could think of, which is to remove grudges, right? So that's a lovely Venus kriya that you could do with your partner to put you into that space where you're able then to be more on the same page, be on the same wavelength going into this together. So that addresses physically, and then mentally, what can you do? So really important that you start a meditation practice. So you want to be able to clear your own subconscious of any kind of neuroses or fears that you have around being pregnant. And we get a lot of information about what motherhood and pregnancy should be like or is like, and that can bring a lot of preconceived fears around, especially labor. And so as you do meditation, as you surround yourself with supportive like-minded people, you want to be able to tap into your own Adi Shakti, right? This divine feminine power, and to connect into that energy that has supported women throughout the ages in terms of being able to manifest life, to bring in this new soul. So meditation is going to be really powerful then to give you that strength, that inner knowing, to tap into your inner primal power as the Adi Shakti. And then also that will develop you spiritually too, because you're going to have a more meditative mind. It helps you then to develop your intuition. And that's really important when it comes to understanding the needs of your child. So for the first year, they're not going to be able to communicate much. And so you really have to be able to read the situation. And so what better than your own intuition then to be able to assess and to be able to better meet the needs of your child that way. So those are some really great tips then in terms of like how to prepare yourself for a conscious pregnancy, and the effort that you put in the beginning before even getting pregnant can really go a long way then to making the pregnancy more enjoyable, and also to become more prepared in this really important role as a mother.
Awesome. Thank you. And now, according to the teachings of Sikh Dharma and Kundalini Yoga, what's the importance of the mother-baby connection? And how can the mother positively affect the karma of the baby?
So, a mother's consciousness is very important because the mother is the child's first teacher. So, everything that the mother experiences while the baby is in the womb, so every thought she has, every feeling that she has, her own identity, is what the child is going to experience. And so it's important that in her identity as the mother, as the Mata Shakti, that she becomes this channel to be able to bless her child through the use of her prayer, and to also clear the karma of the child using meditation.
All right. And then, okay, main recommended Shabbats and meditations to practice during pregnancy and their benefits.
Okay. So, a really popular Shabad for this purpose of pregnancy and for blessing the child is the Mother's Prayer, Puta Mata Ki Asis, which is written by Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And so this Shabad helps then the mother to recognize what her role is as the child's caretaker. So the mother is there to support the soul on its journey on this earthly plane, but we want to guide the soul, guide this child towards living a liberated life. And so that helps in the mother to recognize her role in that, guiding the child towards the child's own dharmic path, rather than having attachments, other ways. And so for the child, as the child listens to this Shabad and feels the intent and the purpose as the mother is saying the words, the child is infused then with this message, which is to fulfill its highest spiritual destiny, always being devoted to and remembering the divine, and so staying steadfast then on its dharmic path. So that's a lovely Shabad, Puta Mata Ki Asis. Another really wonderful Shabad is by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and the words are Band Jamiye Bandhanimiye, and the words mean, from a woman a man is born, from a woman a man is conceived. And so this Shabad talks about the importance, of a woman. And this was written at a time when women were really oppressed. And so Guru Nanak, in his intention with the Shabad, was to exalt the woman, the divine feminine, that it's through the women then that, even royals are born. So how can a woman be oppressed when she is, the next thing to God? So that's a really lovely Shabad to think of, to recite, and to have playing even in the background, so that it becomes part of your subconscious. It gives you that strength and that realization of just how powerful you are as a woman. So meditations as part of Kundalini Yoga, you can use the meditation which is called Call Upon the Mahashakti meditation. And this one is with the mantra Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti. and so on. And then there's another meditation, which is meditation on the Divine Mother. So all of these meditations, these both meditations, are a really powerful way to tap in and into your own Mahashakti, your mother power.
Thanks. Okay. Um, so now, if you could talk about the importance of the power of the prayer of the mother. I know that you already talked a little bit about it, but you could be more specific.
Okay. So the importance of a mother's prayer. So the Siddhi Singh Sahib taught us that the mother's prayer is the most powerful of all. And the mother is the Adi Shakti. So it's through a woman that the divine can manifest itself. It's how creation exists, is through the woman. And so even after birth, once the umbilical cord is cut, there is this spiritual cord that exists between the mother and her child. And so the power of prayer is so, so strong. That spiritual cord is always going to be there.
Awesome. Okay. 120 days, their meaning and relevance. And you could also talk about like the ceremony that we do on the 120th day and why we
Oh,
do it too.
sure.
And also maybe you could also explain it a little bit. So if there are expectant mothers, they can like understand what to do and why.
Okay. So at the time of conception, there's all of these souls that are hovering over the mother as they wish to incarnate um, through the mother to become human on this earth. And so it is at the 120th day of pregnancy that it's said that the soul actually enters the body. And so which soul it is that enters the body is determined then by the frequency of the mother, by her oral projection. And so that's why, elevating is really important through the use of meditation to raise your vibration. Um, and so it's at this 4 month mark in pregnancy, and so the 120th day, that the soul enters the body. Another significance too about this time is that you're past now the earlier stage of pregnancy where there's more risk of having a miscarriage. And so that can be really devastating, and it's a really emotional time for a mother for that to happen. And so it just takes off some of the pressures um, by not announcing your pregnancy socially until you've reached this 120th day mark. So this is a wonderful time then to make your announcement, and family and friends can organize a beautiful celebration then for this 120th day by having like get together, something like a party, right? Where really the focus of the celebration is to support the mother, to honor the mother and this new soul as it enters the world. It's to show your support and, to really make the mother uh, feel beautiful, to feel radiant, because, the early months can be quite the ride. It can be quite emotional. It can be really draining too, as your body is adapting, to the pregnancy. And so this is all about celebration. You can bring flowers, you can have food, and then also practice kirtan, singing songs, sharing poems, prayers whatever person would like to contribute towards this ceremony. So it's a really lovely event as a way to, show the significance then of this time during the pregnancy.
Thanks. What kind of changes are taking place in the consciousness of the mother and the babies during pregnancy?
Okay. So the baby's subconscious is being developed from the 120th day on forward. And so the mother has the power then to cleanse her baby's karmas. So by doing meditation, by having a regular sadhana, the mother in this process starts to shift her own consciousness, and that also will affect the baby's subconscious as it's in the womb, learning from mother's experience. And so this is a really beautiful connection that can be supported then using meditation, using Shabbats. Another change that happens during pregnancy is the Serious Things Sahib taught that there's an acid bath that occurs. So the amniotic fluid becomes more acidic. And this acidity then will affect particularly the brain of a male child. So the male child then, after undergoing the acid bath, becomes more left brain oriented and has less supportive use then of the right brain. So it's important daily if a mother can do the meditation to initiate the child. So regardless of if the child is a girl or a boy, this will help then to reduce the effect of the acid bath on the right brain. And so it can make the male child then a lot more in tune and more in touch then with the qualities of the right brain. And then for a female child, it will make her much more intelligent and bring in a lot more blessings into her life. So a really powerful meditation to initiate your child.
Awesome. And karma, dharma, and the journey of the soul into this planet. So maybe if you could explain what's karma, what's dharma. Imagine that someone that's watching this video doesn't really know what karma is and what dharma is, and why does the soul get into this planet, and yeah, basically,
Okay. Karma, karma, karma. Karmas are a result of our actions. And so when there is a residual effect, when there is no closure, then the belief is that we incarnate another lifetime in order to complete the effect of that karma. And so, as best as possible, whenever we can, through our actions, and when our actions are more in line with our soul's purpose, our gifts, our talents that we bring into this world, when our actions are more in tune then with serving a higher purpose and bringing us closer then to our source, to the divine, then that is a dharmic path that is living dharmically. And so, as a result of past karmas, we can then live out many, many, many lifetimes. And so, it's until we are truly on a dharmic path where we're truly serving our higher purpose that we can cut that cycle of life and of rebirth. And so, in terms of the soul's journey to this earthly plane, um, we're here then to fulfill then what is our dharma and to produce less karmas, less cause and effect as a result of our actions. And as much as we like to blame our parents for our childhood traumas, um, we did choose who we um, incarnated into this lifetime with. We chose our parents and we chose where to be incarnated. And so this is in order to fulfill our dharma, in order to complete our karmas. So it's important then that, just like how Sri Singh Sahib said, we're here as spiritual beings that are born to have a human experience. And so I think that's really important to remember, and also not to lose sight of like what is your end game. What is it here that you're fulfilled, and are you truly serving your life's purpose?
Right. So
That,
those were,
Did that answer?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was that was a tough one.
that was perfect. Is there anything else that you would like to share about pregnancy? Maybe some other tips for expectant mothers, maybe about the role of the partner during pregnancy. I didn't include those questions, but I'm kind of thinking about them now.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Sure. So pregnancy is such a beautiful experience in a woman's life, and it is really important during this time that you surround yourself with positive people, that you say positive things, and that the people around you also do their best to keep you positive and uplifted. Just knowing that everything you experience, your child is experiencing too. So it's important for the partner to, in his role, support you as the mother, and to go for walks, to surround yourself with beauty in nature, to connect in with nature is really uplifting and nurturing. So whatever you can do to nurture yourself, um, listen to beautiful music, stay away from horror movies. Watch things that just make you feel, the warm and fuzzy. If it's the rom-coms, it's documentaries, whatever it is. If you love flowers, take part in going to gardens for your strolls, for your walks. So this is a time to really honor yourself, to nurture yourself. There's so much growth that happens for you as a person as well. It really accelerates, I would say, too, your spirituality, your spiritual growth, because you learn so much from your children. You learn patience, which is one. You learn tolerance. You learn to be more of an effective communicator. Um, and it just, going through those challenges makes you a stronger person, that more resilient as well, more creative in order to be able to, be a parent. So it's a really wonderful, wonderful journey. I highly recommend it.
Well, thank you so much.